Hello everyone, and welcome to my GH Soap Opera Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers: Michael forced to break Jacinda's heart, Willow's dossier leads to crushing split? General Hospital spoilers warn that Michael Corinthos may be forced to shatter Jacinda Bracken's heart. Will Willow Kane's dossier lead to a heartbreaking split? In the last episode, Willow provided Alexis Davis with a file documenting Jacinda's criminal background. Jacinda evidently had a number of offenses before she got to Port Charles, so Willow didn't think a judge would want her children around a hazardous escort. Willow persuaded Alexis to take the dossier when she blackmailed her into accepting her family court case. Alexis grudgingly agreed to represent Willow, but she refused the file and insisted on doing things her way. However, it's tough to believe GH writers would introduce a dossier like this and just let it go to waste. This file is going to be essential, especially after the way Willow gloated to Jacinda later and behaved like Jacinda was helping her get her children back. It looks like Willow and Michael will at least try to compromise before the week of February 2nd to 6th goes down. During talks, Willow might simply claim she doesn't want her kids around Jacinda and make it a sticking point. In other words, Willow could only be willing to reach a compromise if Michael breaks things up with Jacinda. Otherwise, Willow can declare they're going to take this to court, where she might force Alexis to utilize the dossier whether her attorney likes it or not. Michael already has Drew Kane's shooter allegations hanging about him, so he doesn't need to be dating a criminal escort on top of that. It won't be a good look if Michael and Willow ultimately go before a judge. Of course, it's very possible that Willow and Michael will indeed have to head back to court if they can't reach an agreement. There's no assurance this compromise will pan out in the end. Regardless, Willow may play hardball on this Jacinda issue and lead to Michael worrying over the damage his relationship could do. Michael has to put Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos first, thus he may have to dump Jacinda at some point. On the other side, it's possible Jacinda will detect that she's going to be a problem and remove herself from the equation. Jacinda might cut things off herself if she believes her connection with Michael could cost him too much. Whatever the case, General Hospital spoilers predict a terrible romantic blow might be building for both Michael and Jacinda, so stay tuned for updates on any split news to come. Justine blunders, Emma horrifies Felicia, Jason's mixed feelings. Emma Scorpio Drake will horrify Felicia Scorpio, while Jason Morgan battles with some confused sentiments. Sonny Corinthos will also face a shutdown when he interacts with ADA Justine Turner, so let's delve in. Since Sonny is hoping for a compromise between Michael Corinthos and Willow Kane, he may mention it on Tuesday's show. Sonny can anticipate that Michael will remain a free man and work out a deal with Willow regarding their children. Although everything is possible, ADA Turner won't think Sonny should hold his breath. Justine may act like things are about to grow much worse for Michael and could leave Willow with the upper hand. However, Diane Miller will assume Turner has given her a major advantage instead. It turns out Justine's going to make a mistake of some sort, so Diane will consider it something that can work in Michael's favor. When Michael gets questioned about Drew Kane's shooting, he'll be careful about what he answers and will hopefully make Diane proud. Michael is actually innocent, therefore he'll be counting on Diane to help him avoid prison time. Next, Willow will make Nina Reeves her confidant. Nina may get updates on Willow's dramatic move to convince Alexis Davis to represent her, which entailed threatening to cut off Scout Quartermain contact. Willow will restate that she'll do whatever it takes to get her children back and will be eager to pull out all the stops against Michael. In Britt's room, she's already stressing out over the missing of her medication vials. Marco Rios may escape upstairs and bicker with Britt, who'll argue that she agreed to do the work and is now doing it. Of course, Marco may not agree with that as Britt constantly inventing excuses to delay her start date in the new lab. Until Britt goes in there and can establish some real progress, she may not be getting any more medicines. This should give Britt an incentive to be in the lab ASAP, but it presents a dilemma since Jason won't have a vial for reverse engineering. Marco may also have questions regarding where exactly Britt was last night. Britt is supposed to be steering clear of Jason, so Marco may warn that he'd better not catch her sneaking around with him. At GH, Emma will disseminate some Anna Devane news that leaves Felicia horrified. Felicia will find out the story about Anna getting out of captivity and flagging down a car in France. There should also be some talk about Anna saying that Caesar Faison is alive, so Emma and Felicia may wonder if that's real. Felicia will presume Anna's lost touch with reality whenever they reconnect later this week. Anna has been driven to this point thanks to director Ross Cullum and Jen Sidwell's plot, so she may be locked up for mental health difficulties for a time. In the meantime, Jason will have mixed thoughts over Anna's phase-on info. Part of Jason will know you can never rule out a phase-on back from the dead bombshell, but another part of him may still assume this is a gaslighting case. Once Dante Falconeri receives the scoop, he'll supposedly reject Anna's accusations and think they need to focus on getting her some mental treatment. General Hospital spoilers suggest Anna will remain an emotional wreck, so don't miss all the heartbroken reactions. General Hospital's Chase will never be a true Q, and here is why. The family has had just about enough with Brooklyn's husband. Chase and Brooklyn were once one of the best couples on General Hospital, but he is blowing that all up. The whole family is coming to loathe him, and it's not simply about Willow. Key takeaways: Chase put everything in peril by going to Willow's defense. Accusing Tracy of stealing from Drew and Willow was not a wise move. Gio defended Tracy like a true Q. Chase had the guts to question Jason's parenting. Chase may not last much longer at the QS. The Willow factor. Chase's issues began when he sprang to Willow's defense. His ex became this damsel in distress that he had to protect, but at what cost? The detective took it upon himself to investigate Drew's shooting so that he could clear Willow. He sought to transfer the responsibility onto Michael, who was previously his best buddy and is his wife's cousin. This got him suspended and demoted at the PCPD. He put Willow's needs above those of Brooklyn and the family. He will eventually realize that Willow was the shooter after all. Will he regret his acts then? Don't go against Tracy. Tracy sees what Chase has been up to, and she doesn't approve. She has been giving him grace since her granddaughter adores him, and Tracy adored his father. That will only continue for so long. Drew took the Quartermain treasures right under their eyes, and he left Ned lying on the street during his heart attack. Tracy can play dirty too, so she went to Drew's house while he was in the hospital and grabbed back her family's possessions. Was this the proper thing to do? Maybe, maybe not, but this is Port Charles, where anything goes. Tracy concerned her family, but when she returned victorious, Chase called her out on stealing from Drew and Willow. When Gio defended his great-grandma, Chase labeled him a real Quartermain. Tracy enjoyed it when Gio took that as a compliment. Who does he think he is? Strike 3 for Chase was interrogating Jason about his whereabouts during the snowfall. He went even further by criticizing Jason's parents. That is not any of his business, and he has no right pushing his nose in where it doesn't belong. Chase was lucky that Jason didn't hit him. Speaking of hitting him, we cannot forget his fistfight with Michael over, once again, Willow. It is only a matter of time before he pushes BLQ too far and she throws him out of the house, the family, and their marriage. General Hospital spoilers, new couple alert, Dante and Liz sizzle in Port Charles. General Hospital spoilers indicate that a sexy new coupling might be on the horizon. Could Elizabeth Liz Baldwin and Dante Falconeri sizzle in Port Charles? Let's chat about it. A picture is worth 1,000 words. General Hospital spoilers predict that Dante and Elizabeth will share several scenes this week. A preview picture was provided, so let's guess on what could happen next. While they aren't often in each other's orbits, Dante and Liz have shared some screen time in recent weeks. Is the show hinting a relationship between the two? The glance between the two seems to indicate sparks could fly. The nurse has been unmarried for a hot minute. The last genuine relationship she's been in was when she was involved with Dr. Finn Hamilton, who departed the storylines in June 2024. Meanwhile, Dante hasn't participated in a romance since his fiancée, Sam McCall, passed suddenly on October 31, 2024. Could a new love story be in the works for these two? The super couple we never thought we needed. Dante and Liz are two crucial players in the land of Port Charles. It would be quite intriguing to watch the interaction between these two long-time characters. While GH could have gone the easy path by reconciling Lulu Spencer with Dante once she awakened from her coma, as Lulu will likely enter into a love triangle between her, Nathan West, and Maxie Jones, once she wakes up, Dante pulling toward Liz would be something quite unexpected. With that said, it's all about the sparks and connection that Dante and Elizabeth share. These two individuals are known for creating magic on the film when it comes to past relationships they've been in, so can they capture this on screen if they dive into a love tale themselves? Only time shall tell. Are Dante and Liz headed for romance? Do you think they'd make a cute couple? General Hospital's Cody may or may not have overreacted to Molly's book. Another setback for Molly and Cody. Whose side are you on? Just when we thought General Hospital's Molly and Cody were finally a stable pair, there is a new setback. Her book has caused significant problems between them, but did Cody overreact? Ket takeaways: Cody read Molly's book without her consent. Her description of him understandably hurt him. The Casey character was based on Cody, but not him. Molly didn't mean to hurt him and apologized. This couple may break up after finally getting together. Cody has every right. Cody probably should not have read Molly's book without asking her first, but he did, and he may be regretting it. Molly developed a fictional story, loosely based on herself and Cody. Some comments of the Casey character were 6 feet of gorgeous stupidity, a monumental waste of potential, and golden retriever energy would have been an insult to the species. That's harsh. Of course, he is offended and insulted. Who wouldn't be? He is a bit insecure, and he informed her that they were all the worst things he believed about himself. He cares for Molly, and it was hard to read the words she wrote. Cody may not be able to be in a relationship with her after this because he now knows what she thinks of him. Cody is too sensitive. Molly's boyfriend glanced into her book without her permission and read stuff he wasn't permitted to. The terms she used to describe the character were cruel, but Casey was based on Cody, not truly Cody. He was an overblown version of her partner. Molly also wrote the novel months earlier, before she got to know the real person. Molly cares for the stable hand, and it was never her goal to hurt him. He was never supposed to see the words she had written, as she already said she was not planning to publish her book. The ADA knew that her portrayal upset Cody, and she apologized, but he is hard to forgive her. He is being way too sensitive, and he may lose his girlfriend after finally obtaining her. The Molly and Cody will they or won't they, dragged on for too long. Now that they are together, no one wants to see them broken apart over something so foolish. Come on, Cody, get over it. Whose side are you on? General Hospital's Josh Swickard declares, I can't work with him anymore. You never know what you'll find out when you tune into General Hospital actor Maurice Benard's state of mind. In the latest installment of his mental health podcast, guest Josh Swickard shares the amusing issue that he faces while playing scenes opposite Dominic Zamprogna. Dominic laughs at you a lot, Benard points out in the latest episode, which you can watch in full below. Yeah, for good reason, Swickard adds, joking that I can't work with him anymore. I'm going to put it in my next contract. What exactly happens when Chase and Dante are in the same scene? We're both instantly in 4th grade, Swickard says. In particular, Zamprogna can't help from laughing up when his castmate adopts what he calls my tag face. In other words, the expression on which he holds at the end of a scene as the show goes to commercial. It's my concerned face, Swickard says, chuckling. It's my good acting face. And it always comes out precisely after Chase has just dropped a bombshell a la so-and-so is dead. The look has such an amusing effect on Zamprogna that he started to periodically giggle when other people do it too. During a scene with Benard, the Emmy says that his on-screen kid lost it and was like, don't look at me, lest he catch the giggles. General Hospital's Britt may not have Huntington's after all. Who's to say her test results weren't faked? General Hospital's Britt has finally told Jason the truth. Knowing Jason, he will help her out of the situation she is in, and we are here for it. But was her Huntington's disease ever real? Key takeaways: Britt was diagnosed with Huntington's disease, inherited from her father, Faison. She was obliged to work for Sidwell to buy medication for her condition. Tests could have been manipulated so that Britt felt she had the condition. Jason will help Britt out of the mess. Jocelyn is also investigating into the goings-on at Windmere. Britt's test results back before Britt died, she was diagnosed with Huntington's disease. It made sense because she was demonstrating symptoms, and her cruel father, Faison, suffered from the sickness. Britt confided in Jason when the two became close, but then he left her to save Carly. Soon after, Stone Cold was assumed dead and Britt was murdered. Britt is alive and being maintained symptom-free from Huntington's with a medicine supplied to her by Cullum and Sidwell. Their purpose is to push her to perform research for Faison's final dissertation. They have her exactly where they want her. But what if Britt never had Huntington's after all? Tests are altered and manipulated all the time in Port Charles. Cullum and Sidwell may have done precisely that so Britt would do their bidding. She believes this prescription is helping her, but maybe it's simply doing a big fat nothing. She could have been manipulated for years. Jason and Joss to the rescue. Britt finally trusts Jason, and he knows everything that she has been going through. He is there to help, and the two of them may figure out what is actually going on at Windmere. Then there is Jocelyn, who is coming closer to the truth on her own. She is inside the scary castle with Cullum and is starting to sense that something is not right there, and it may have to do with Anna, who is being held captive directly underneath her. It's time for the cavalry to ride in and take out the bad guys. When that happens, Brit may realize that she has been healthy all along. Michael on the hot seat as Brit's desperation mounts. Michael faces harsh questions, Brit nears her breaking point, and Willow readies a dramatic new custody move. Michael is probed, which shouldn't come as a shock to anyone. Willow escaped a guilty conviction, even though she was the one who shot Drew twice in the back. Apparently, the PCPD thinks there should be justice for Drew, and thus they must move on to the next most plausible person of interest, Michael Corinthos. Since there are a few people who know the truth about what really transpired that fateful night, someone will hopefully fess up before Michael either goes to jail or loses his kids. Of course, if Alexis did, she would most likely lose her law license, again. And Trina and Kai may glimpse the inside of a jail. Hey Suzanne, how about you? The breaking point in other news that isn't shocking, Brit is desperate. While it's unclear what particularly she's desperate about on Tuesday, she has plenty of big picture things to feel desperate about. For example, she is being compelled to work in the lab on Faison's final project. And if she refuses, they will withhold her medicine, hurt someone she cares about, or both. She now has to make sure that nobody finds out she told Jason everything. And there's also the fact that she witnessed Sidwell kill Dalton. That makes her dangerous to have around. So far, she has been quiet. But she will become a liability that Cullum and Sidwell need to eradicate at some time. Her lab talents will only get her so far. As for Jason, he is torn. Now that he understands the truth about the danger Brit is in, he ordinarily would act alone or mostly alone to rescue her out of this predicament. But in GH's weekly video preview, we see him inform Dante, Faison is alive, so maybe he's concluded he can't do this alone. That he needs actual, above-board aid. Suspicions and confidences finally, Diane voices her suspicions. Does this have to do with Willow and Michael and the custody war? Maybe she deduces that Willow was responsible for putting Drew in the hospital the second time. If her deductions aren't about Willow and Michael, who are they about? And we can also look at the video preview for facts regarding this next teaser. Willow confides in Nina. In the clip, Willow informs her mom she will have to pivot to handle Michael and the custody hearing. I begged Michael for peace, she claims. It's time for something stronger. It's kind of disturbing to think about what she means by stronger. After all, look at what she did to Drew after trying to shoot him failed. At the end of the promo, she's clutching a real key. What does that key have to do with her new, stronger plan? Jacinda and Christina caught up while Michael had lunch with Jacinda during lunch at Bobby's. Jacinda Bracken and Michael Corinthos talked about their turbulent night apart. She laughed about his botched pancake attempts for the kids. Christina Corinthos Davis arrived and was glad to see her brother smiling. She said that Molly Lansing Davis spent the storm with Cody Bell and that Scout was doing well with them. Michael felt awful, confessing he was happy Drew's stroke distanced them. Christina inquired about the probe, and Michael stated he hadn't heard anything, assuming ADA Justine Turner didn't want to take on a losing case. Christina talked to Michael about living with Dante and Chase as Jacinda walked away for a call. Christina asked Michael about living with Dante Falconeri and Harrison Chase. He said it was challenging being around the acting police commissioner and a cop who supported Willow. Jacinda returned to tell Nina Reeves would be late to the office, and Christina inquired about her job. Jacinda said that Nina still loathed her, but she wouldn't stop, especially with so much to learn from her about design. Michael receives a call from Sonny Corinthos, begging him to come home. Willow came after Michael left and threatened Christina over Scout. Jacinda was shocked by how understanding Michael was when the truth about her being with Ezra Boyle the night Drew was shot came out. Christina soothed her, and Jacinda pledged to never lie again. They were stopped by Willow, who eagerly inquired about Scout and noted that Alexis would represent her in the custody case, thanking Jacinda for helping her reunite with her kids. Jacinda joked that Willow had lost touch with reality, but Willow answered that no judge would let her kids near someone with her past. Christina suggested Willow look in the mirror before criticizing Jacinda, and Willow reminded Christina of her own mistakes, saying, "Your unwarranted attack makes me reconsider who Alexis exposes Drew's daughter to." Sonny asked Rick to help Michael keep his kids. Sonny asked Rick Lansing to help Michael keep his kids. Rick reminded Sonny he had represented Willow in the custody trial, so he couldn't change sides. Sonny didn't want his grandkids to suffer while Willow and Michael fought, and he wanted Rick to assist them to an agreement. Rick admired Sonny's trust in him but believed Michael and Willow could compromise. He also anticipated Michael would avoid him following his severe questioning of Sasha Corbin during the last custody court, which prompted her go into labor. When Michael came, he was unhappy to see Rick, but Sonny insisted Rick would help them make amends. Michael refused to compromise, believing he had the upper hand. Rick reminded him that Willow married a politician and was cleared of charges, but Michael was now under investigation. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe my channel without missing any update.